Hello, world. Another Sunday evening, hanging out with you guys. And we lit. Drink water, preferably spring water or alkaline water, if you can. So I got this new book I want to share with the world. I'm looking it up real quick. I read some of it and I forgot about it. Doctor, yeah. Yeah, the book is Supreme Power Course by Dr. Murdo McDonald Bain. Trying to see if I can find when it was released. The audiobook is on YouTube for free as well. It's a 6 hour book. A lot of good information in that one. And then anything that's been published by Robert A. Russell. Um, he has two books that are really good. You can get it if you can find it within yourself. And his other one is, let me see. You Too Can Be Prosperous. Check out both of those reads. Every day, all day, all we do is get our grind on. From sun up to sundown, look at that grind. YouTube is probably like one of the only sites in the world where you can reach like close to 50,000 subs and you struggle to get 10 people in the chat. But it's cool. God wins in the end. They already got Bronny James on load management. Good Lord. Cuddy didn't play with one game already. Does anybody out there watch Big Three basketball? If so, let me know in the comments. Hey, Nazir Core is nice. Uh, that's exactly what Mike Beasley needed. But bro got dummy amount of talent on him. Angela Reese, 13 straight double doubles. Have y'all seen them videos where people be playing like Angela Reese where they be missing all them shots and then getting their own boards? That pad, as they would say. Team USA gonna be nice this year too. That radio host who said that she received the questions before she was interviewed with Biden has been fired from her job. Crazy. What else is going on in the world? What we got out here? Is riots happening in Paris? Did y'all know about that? About 3,000 police? What y'all know about the riots that's going on in Paris? They spazzing out. Look like a Black Lives Matter rally. Or it's 2024, so what they gonna say? They not like us rally. Did y'all see they is that legit that they said they offered Kendrick to perform at the DNC? Or is that real or no? Let me see what this is. Uh I don't know. So YouTube is really interesting. So like from my analytical side, it shows me anybody who is subscribed to my channel never watches a video again. No, you're fine. So YouTube analytics is really weird. So I was showing my wife something. So in 2022, like my views, let's say it was like what? Here we go. It says 940% more. I don't know what that show. But long story short, the algorithms are triggered. So my channel is not, I ain't gonna say it's demonetized because it has the ability to make money, but it shows that no one watches it. Like from my end, it seemed like people watch my videos one time, they subscribe to my channel, and then they never watch anything else that I do. And then I post a new video and I get a bunch of new subscribers and they subscribe and then they never watch anything else I do. But I'm sure that's error. There's no contact support to reach out on YouTube. There's nobody to email or to have a direct connection to. But yeah, my channel shows that no one watches any of my content. That's why I'd be shocked when I get so many comments and stuff. Oh no, you're fine. Do what you do. I'm glad that you're stoned and feeling good currently, man. Turn up. No, to me, honestly, that's the I would say the most fun or the rawest part about YouTube is I'm not making money, so I can say whatever I want. I'm being purely authentically myself, and I don't have to worry about you can't. Well, obviously, I worry about the restrictions or being shadow banned or demonetized because I say something that the powers that be don't like. But I'm just a regular human in this world, like the masses of y'all. Stepping out like, oh, I can really do this shit. But I feel like it'd be lame to have a big platform and to talk down to people or to pretend like I'm this god or higher power. I'm just another human trying to figure out life. So I'm using this channel to ask questions and to interact and see what y'all normally have for dinner in the UK. You know, like question like that. Like what's y'all local grocery stores called? What's y'all corner? Y'all got Quick Trip? Y'all got Family Dollar, or Dollar General, and all that. I'm trying to figure out about the world like that. If you go to China Feast, do you get a sesame chicken or do you get? uh, I appreciate you Holly K, 1742. Remind me of Freddie Wap, 1738. You know that? Yeah, that's Freddie Wap. That ain't Jeezy. Um, but anything that you see in me is just a reflection of you. We all are beautiful souls, and I've learned just to speak to that part of each human that gets overlooked. But we all have a light to shine. And I didn't know that for a while. I was an extremely dark person. Oh my God. Super, super dark spirited, super angry, anti the world, and now happy as ever, baby. They say you either break down or have a breakthrough. And I'm blessed to break through to the other side of the world. I feel like this YouTube channel is just like a big ball of energy, and I just keep making energy deposits, and it just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's gonna just explode one day, uh, and it creates a lot of happiness and a lot of joy across the world. So like that's the cool part about life. Like how I can still listen. Like this morning I was listening to a Napoleon Hill lecture, and I can't tell you how long ago it was. But to know people will be able to listen to me in 50 years, 60 years, that's like one of the coolest realizations ever. Because everybody want to be like uplifted and motivated type stuff. You don't want to walk around dealing with negativity. And when you can find something that makes you feel good, it's easy to go back to. That's why people have so many negative habits, negative vices. You don't smoke crack just because you want to. It's the way you feel. You know, people they aren't addicted to porn because they just it's the feeling, the dopamine, the chemical release that you get. And once you learn how your brain works, then you can really turn up for real. But they not try. They do a great job of keeping the masses of people very, very, very uneducated. Like I switched internet providers yesterday, and little kid who came over to hook up my internet, he was, I don't know how old he was, early 20s. So he might be watching this stream now because he subscribed to my channel. But he was telling me how he was from Cuba. So his perception of being in America, he was just happy to have a job. And he was saying the fact that he can get off work and go into Costco and buy him a chicken at any time is like an American dream to him. And perception is reality. And because you got so many people that believe that victimhood narrative that, man, America's holding you back, and if you're a black man, you can't compete or you can't accomplish anything. Meanwhile, my homie is super happy he can work for Google Fiber and go to Costco whenever he want. And he was telling me how his girlfriend's mom had to marry some man just to get her papers so she can come over here. And she had a lot of trauma and a lot of um, negative views around all of that. So being able to conversate with people is really lit because we don't know the narratives of the world are really false. But if I keep you in a bubble and keep you divided from people, and I see you and I prejudge you and say, oh, well, you won't like me because I'm black or because I'm white, then we never had this conversation and get to evolve and be better people. Because I don't think humans are ignorant. I don't think they're dumb. I don't think they want to be communists or they want to be Antifa. I think when you're broken, you find something to fill that void inside of you. And that's what groups and that's what cults are for. What was that show? The Following. Did anybody watch that? He had that big old cult. Um, you catch people coming from all these broken families, and they look for a pack, a tribe to take them in, and that's what's happening. But when you securing yourself and you have a relationship with your creator, you don't need a group or people around you because divinely you're always protected. Like if you watch my channel, I have a lot of children, and my 10-year-old boys, they 10 months apart, but they both 10. They in Texas right now. And it's like as a father to pour into them every day and then to go to not seeing them. One is scary, but two, it teaches you that's the most beautiful part about life. Like all you can do is give your all. Like I gotta put my all in every day I'm raising my children, every day I go to work, every YouTube video I make, I just gotta put my all, my heart into it and just let the chips fall where they may. But if I'm looking, well, I'm gonna treat you this way for you to treat me that way, or I've got to protect myself, then you never get to really be free. I guess that's the best way to put it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I think the American propaganda bubble is slowly crumbling. The interesting part to me is I think a lot more of the influencers or journalists are paid actors than what we would know. I truly think the biggest conservative, let's say podcasters or influencers, I think they're actually Democrat plants, um, doing a fake opposition. Just my perspective, because how do you have a platform that big and you haven't enlightened people or haven't changed any minds or changed any hearts? Unless that's not your purpose. Your purpose is to keep the divide going. Once you see things, you can't unsee them. But yeah, I'm gonna check him out for sure. I'd like anybody who's willing to call out the BS. My son is upstairs going off. Do anybody else got a toddler? Well, he not a toddler. He a baby. He almost 7 months old. Raising kids is cool though. Shout out to all the parents of the world. I was playing horse with my son yesterday at the basketball court, and I just had to stop and say thank you, God. That's something I've gotten really good at, is controlling my mind, and in moments that used to like stress you out, I can pause and reflect and just be grateful. I can be on the basketball court and I stop and say, God, thank you for letting me play the game I love. Um, my children could be going crazy, wrecking the house, and I didn't learn to say, God, thank you for letting me, blessing me with these beautiful babies. Because it's easy to get stressed out raising kids. It's easy to be overwhelmed, and you want your house to be clean all the time, and you be tired of stepping on toys. You be tired of breaking up fights and all that. But you've learned that that it's the journey is what makes it so special. Oh yeah, man. I'm definitely. I just googled him, so I definitely would check out his work. Uh, I support anybody who's willing to speak out and just be a real human, because that's all we are, is humans at the end of the day. Some went to elementary, middle school, and high school. Some were homeschooled. Some went to private school. Some dropped out of school. So I can truly say I've learned more in the last 5 years than I ever could have learned in school at all. I mean, in my school made me not like reading, but reading is dope as hell, man. There's so much information out here. And I think that's the whole purpose, is to dumb you down, to kill your creativity. And I mean, look no further than the inner city rap culture. Like, you can't tell me that it's normal the way young boys grow up and write songs about killing each other. It's like they hear a song about someone murdering someone and say, you know what? I could rap about killing someone better than that. And they put it out. And that's how YouTube is weird, because algorithms. If I made a song like, if you know about that Fulio Young and Ace beef that's going on right now, imagine making a song at a graveyard rapping about killing another kid and it gets a million views in like 10 hours. You would definitely think that's something that would violate community guidelines and that you wouldn't want just promote it. But if I showed y'all how many times my video said this violate community guidelines, you can't. I ain't sitting with. I got some Nerf guns, but I ain't got no real straps with me. I ain't promoting weed and liquor. I ain't got a bunch of naked hoes behind me. But to see how that gets promoted, you definitely create an image of individuals in the world. Uh, and my grandma always said, you are a walking resume. When people see you, they going to judge you, whether you liked it or not. And it's your job to be able to open your mouth and blow them away. Um, but the way that the negativity rises to the top, whether it's the young girl, the Hawk Tua shit, I mean, she got to live with that for the rest of her life. I don't think she understands when she's 33, that's still there. When she's 45 and her kids are going to middle school, that's still there, man. You really got to be mindful of what you are putting out in this world. And when we're young, we don't think that far ahead. My 10-year-old be putting stuff on his YouTube channel, and I'll be like, hey, son, take that off. That ain't a good look for you. That's going to hurt you in 10 years from now. And I think no one is having that conversation with the youth right now about social media, about who they sleeping with, changing their gender, not being comfortable in their body. No one is telling these kids just keep living, just keep learning. It's a real YOLO culture that is being presented to them, and it's very detrimental to society, to say the least. And it's like this shit happened fast. Like if you think back, 2020 was 4 years ago. That's when just everything fell apart. But if you think 2016, maybe I was still lost in the sauce. But I just didn't feel like it was that much propaganda, or it probably was. Yeah, I will say though, it seems like the younger generation is rebelling against it. Like, for instance, my daughter is in this; she's going into the eighth grade, and none of her friends, her peer group, they not cool with it. They not happy with playing soccer against boys, or potentially they could lose a sports scholarship to a boy for dressing as a girl. My daughter said it makes her feel really, really uncomfortable. My sons, they turned Nickelodeon and all that off for the whole month because they didn't want to be exposed to it. Like that generation of boys, they rebelling against it a lot. So I think this is everything comes in trends, and I think right now this trend is popping, and you give it 3 4 years and this will go away, and it'll be something else. I don't know what next comes next though. That's the interesting part, to figure out what comes next. Because I got a this is a weird theory. I just be looking at things from a different perspective. And on one side of life, they're pushing for women to be more promiscuous than they've ever been in their life. Like they just tell them to be reckless with your body, and body count don't matter, and soul ties don't matter. And on the other side of that life, they talking about purity, 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 and men want pure wives. And it seems like both sides are pushing to go after their children. Because if a man eventually wants a pure wife and women are being sexually active at a young age, well, he needs to get him a young wife. That way he can get her when she's pure. So I don't know. It could just be Johnny looking at it from this perspective, but the way all of it's being pushed definitely seems weird to me. Because if you can pick your gender at 9, 10, 11, 12, then can you pick if you want to be married or not? Yes or no? Like it just all of it is going to get really weird, and all of it seems to be an attack towards children. Just my perspective, though. I don't get tired. No, this gonna sound crazy. But if you watch Kevin Gates, or not even just Kevin Gates, but a lot of people talk about semen retention and the power of your energy, your life force. God gave a man the ability to create life, and if I'm just shooting that energy out every day, then I'm always gonna be tired and drained. But if I allow that energy just to build up and to naturally flow through my body, then I'm like a Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan, and I think all men have that ability, and that also combines with having a good diet. Um, I say fasting and praying is like peanut butter and jelly, um, but I don't know. Like I say, I'm the light, and we all have the energy that we need inside of us. You just got like me having a six pack. My kids are obsessed with having a six pack, and I just know how powerful what you see every day is. And even if I want to be tired, I can't. I made these children. It ain't no excuse. So I don't, and I like hooping. The feeling of watching a ball go through the net, that lights you up too. So I don't know. I just know what I want in this world, and I ain't gonna get it while I'm sleeping. And when I was young, all I did was lay down with women. So now I didn't pivot it, and I ain't. If you could run around with 5, 10, 15 girls at a time, it's easy to just raise kids. Kids are simple. I was playing catch with my 6-year-old son. We got this other game where we like lay the mat on the floor and I hold the hula hoop up and they run and jump through the hula hoop, and every time they get through it, I raise it up a new level, and then I jump through the hula hoop with them. And I don't know. I feel like kids give you energy as well if you've been around energy. I mean, been around children. They make you happy. They lift your vibration up. And I'm really big on protecting the energy around me. But no, I don't get tired. I tell my wife that yesterday. I said I get sleepy, but I don't get tired. Well, maybe I'm blessed. But I feel younger every single day. Man, I think maybe working out help. I don't know. I drink a lot of water, a lot of water. I take vitamins every day. I don't have a lot of fast food. I don't have a lot of fried food. I just started taking ashwagandha. I don't know if anybody else knows what that is, but it's a supplement. It's supposed to help with like stress and testosterone as well. So I'm just always looking to improve to get healthier. I say it a lot. The more I learn, I have a lot to learn. And the world is just a big library for real. That's why I don't understand stars. Like the minute they get some money, the first thing they do is like buy some watches and some chains and some cars. It's like first thing I do, I'm going to find the best nutritionists in the world type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I am my children's example. The fatherhood that I produce will live inside my children forever. So I don't know. I want them to see something better than what I saw. And I love my mom and daddy, but they was ghetto as hell. Super ghetto. Super ratchet. Let me look it up for it real quick. Ashwagandha. That's how you spell it. Being a father is an interesting experience because I had my kids real young. Like with women, just being realistic that I wouldn't choose them in today's society. They wouldn't choose me. So it's an interesting perspective. Cause I don't know, like every stereotype you hear about raising children, about it being difficult and the father not having to say so, and no matter how good of a father you are, you still can be told that you ain't shit and you ain't good enough. That's my reality. I just don't let it bother me. Like I don't really care what the mothers think of me. My job is to show up, to be a good daddy, to leave a good impression on my children, nothing more, nothing less. But when I was young, I really wanted the approval of my baby mamas. Like I felt like it would have mattered if they told me I was a good daddy, or because my mom never told my father he was a good father. My mom always said, "Your daddy ain't shit. Your daddy ain't shit." So I wanted to be the 100% opposite of him. He ain't got no tattoos. I want to be covered in tats. And what I learned was, no matter how great of a man I tried to be, I still was told I wasn't good enough. And I'm sure there's a lot of men in this world who understand what that's like. So I stopped trying to be good for anybody else, and I start being good for God. As long as God is proud of me and my children are proud of me, I don't care what anybody's perception of me. But thank you for telling me I'm a good father, because one of my baby mamas say I'm a good father. My wife think I am an unreal, fantastic, amazing father, and then I have another baby mama who think I am probably one of the worst humans to walk the face of the world. So it keeps me humble, right? You never can get too high, you never can get too low. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've had 3 meals in a day. It's been some years, some years, some years. When I first started transitioning to eating less food, I used to get like real mad and have hanger pains and headaches and all that. But now I just feel good when I haven't ate a lot of food. You just feel light, you feel full of energy. Versus you eat a certain meal and you need to lay down and go to sleep. Uh, and praying, that's something I've really developed a habit of prayer over the last 4 or 5 years. But if I'm being real, for probably the first 25 years of my life, I never prayed. I was like everybody else. You only pray when something was real, real bad. God, please let this girl get her period. If she do, I won't ever do this again. Knowing I'm lying. um, Driving real fast, getting pulled over by the cops. God, please let me get out. Just I only use God when I needed him. I treated him like a side chick. So he treated me like I didn't exist. But now that I didn't really realize it, it's a real connection that you got to have, and pray without ceasing. So I be walking through the grocery store having conversations with God. I be driving on the highway having conversations with God. So just that you are always with you, even in a room full of a million people. So you really train that inner dialogue to be something positive and uplifting, because we all can agree that every day we're going to fight a new challenge. And it's all about how do you mentally deal with it. Because where attention goes, energy flows. So I can look at it and say, I can't accomplish this. And then I'm going to find a roadblock. But I can look at it and say, all right, baby, somehow, some way, we're going to thug it out. And then we get to the other side of it. So, yeah, I think everybody should get into prayer or some form of meditation. Just sit with you. You may laugh, you may cry, you may smile, you may judge yourself, but at the end of the day, we all are here to grow. Like I seen a video the other day, and it said most people fear the unknown, but the only thing that's in the unknown is more of you. You survived 100% of your bad days, so the more you keep going, you will figure yourself out. But you got to trust you, and that's where faith come in. And I didn't always have faith. Like in the last 6 months, I didn't quit 2 different jobs. Each time got a better job, dog. Like really have faith that like, nah, this ain't for me, and my energy ain't aligning here, and God got something better for me. And I just step out and say, I'm done with this. And I promise, by progress in nature abhors a vacuum. And there's times when I sat in my lower vibration fear, and I would just stay in situations that didn't make me happy and made me feel miserable. And now that I'm like, hell no, I ain't doing that no more, man. I just keep walking into better and better opportunities. So I align with your creator. Something I can say that can help with anxiety is probably gonna sound crazy. Do you run a lot? When I just run. I mean, just go outside and just run. Um, because you can't really think of run. I'm lucky. I got a treadmill in my house. Somebody was giving it away for free on Facebook Marketplace, and I went to pick it up. And I get on the treadmill every morning, and I walk on like speed 3.5 for like 30 minutes straight. Uh, and I love taking cold showers. That's another thing that's helped me with my anxiety. Every shower I take, like it used to be the last 30 seconds, and then it was the last 60 seconds. Now I'm up to the last 2 minutes. And the goal eventually is take the entire shower just freezing cold. But yeah, I take the last 2 minutes of my shower, and I just take the freezing cold water. And when you turn that water off and you step out, you just be so happy. And it helps me go throughout the day. And so when I run into negative situations or stressful situations, it helps me be a lot calmer. But man, because like I said, I used to be a hot-headed individual, like the masses of young men. We raised to be that way, to not value our lives, to not value ourselves, and I feel like to respond to the world instead of react to the world, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, that's the dopest part. Like we all can inspire each other because everybody is gonna go through something, and when you go through a hardship, that's when you figure out who you are. And not to compare and contrast, when you can look, it's like it almost make it easier when you know somebody else who's accomplished it. Like I have friends that I went to high school with that have became millionaires. I'm like, oh, I can do this shit. Like they did it cause I could do it. And it's like when you know somebody who can really do it, it changes the way you feel. And I want everybody who watches this channel, I promise I am you and you are me. We all can overcome our anxiety, depression. I had like IBS real bad where I had to like change everything I was eating because I could not find what was going on with my body. And I was going to the doctors and they couldn't figure out what was going on with me. It was just stress. It was mental. And I knew that. And once I let all of it go outside of here, my body is cool. I ain't bloated all the time. I don't be feeling sick. It was just a lot of things that I've learned. It's inside your head. And when I was the sickest inside my head, I had the nicest cars, I had the nicest clothes, I had the rims. Externally, you would have looked at me and thought I was winning. And that's what I've learned to see about the world. A lot of people look like they winning, but they really sick and sad. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, just get moving. Get moving, get moving. Read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I know they're probably like, why would I read about Outwitting the Devil? But your mind is the battleground for God and for the devil. And you gotta win that battle first before you can win anything externally. And like I said, I went through a period Dude, like y'all, I know y'all see me so happy all the time, but I was real dark. Like I used to get off work and go straight home and go in a dark room and just go to sleep. I was broken. Um, I would be up middle of the night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., couldn't sleep. Uh, and nobody else knew what was going on with me. I still was raising my kids. I still was going to work, but on the inside, I was just holding a bunch of stuff in, and my body was like, "All right, well, you don't want to let it out. Watch what we do," and it manifested in a bunch of other bad ways for my body. So I don't know if you got a journal, but like I got this, and I write, and it's so the first day I ever started journaling, like I said, man, was I think it say January 4th, 2018. I had knee surgery like 3 weeks before that, and I wanted to be able to play basketball again. The doctor told me he didn't know if I was gonna be able to hoop no more. So I start going to the gym, and I just got a journal, and I write the time that I get there and the time I leave, and I write myself a little note for 5 years and see what you was thinking that day, what you was feeling, and to cross it out because you can see what you done learn from it. Like I wrote some mornings like as a man, you gotta be careful with your words. So there's times that I've said things and I would make my wife cry unintentionally, and I got notes in here, like made my wife cry, didn't mean to say that, and then like to see how we've evolved years later, it's lit as well. So it's good to self reflect, and there's little things that we can do to become better men that we ain't talked about. They tell you to go drink or go smoke or go to the strip club. I'm like that shit is destructive. I don't want to go see no naked hoes shaking their ass. Oh yeah, man. Having dead children gives you a different perspective of the world too. Like my mom dying was hard, but to have dead kids, it's I don't know. It gives you a different type of peace, knowing everything has to go somehow, some way at a certain time. So always give your best, make every moment the fullest. I still can remember last time I seen my son, what outfit he was wearing. I still can remember my first son when he came out his mama and he was already passed away. So you have to value the moment. The last time I was trying to call my mom before she passed, it was to tell her I was gonna get her nails and her feet done. Ghetto hood shit. Mama kept her nails done. So and once a month I took her to the nail shop. So yeah, and once you put God first, it's a different type of comfort. Like I say that, like so my sons are 8 hours away now, and every time in my life when they've had to leave, it really, really hurt my heart because I couldn't see them. And this was the first time that I felt comfortable of letting them leave because I know they safe. God got them and God got me, so there's nothing to be sad or worry or have any doubt or fear about it. They Gucci. Oh man. Oh yeah. So I you're right. If I personally did you know he was a cage fighter before y'all got into it? Let me know about that first. Dizel. Oh yeah, my kids, my goons, man. They love me. When you young, just when you young and you have kids with a woman, she don't want. I was when she had kids with me, I had gold teeth in my mouth and rims. Nobody expected me to grow and evolve and be this individual. They thought I would be the other path, the little Dirks of the world, and the Chief Keefs. And because I didn't fall that way, it don't. You don't want to see your ex doing good. I would. I mean, if I lost me, I would be mad too. I would be sad if I didn't have me no more as well. I love me. I'm happy I get to be me. My children and my little folks for sure. But the best part about it, if I'm being real, is like I love the fact that all my kids have good relationships with their mom. Like regardless of how their mamas feel about me, I'm really happy that my kids love their mom. I'm happy that they have a relationship with their mother and their father, because parents are needed, and I hate that they have to be away from one or the other. Realistically, I know that that's hard for a child to even speak on or to process. But all I can do is be honest with them, and as they grow, hope they don't make the same mistakes that their father did. Because when I was growing up, it was glorified to have a bunch of girls. I'm not telling my sons that. I haven't got into a. I truly have only had one fight in my life. I was like I was in the seventh grade, I think, fighting some kid named Bubba Trey. He lived in a homeless shelter next door to me on 41st in Virginia. That's where he was living at. Um, but I've always been not always liked by the masses of people because my freshman year in high school, all of the seniors hated me because the senior girls liked me, so they used to really like pick on me and shit. But that came and went with the territory. Most of the people who didn't like me, it was based around girls. Used to get dudes calling my phone in the middle of the night. Hey, you texting my girl? Hey, why your girl's number in my phone? Just all of that. I'm so glad I'm past them days. Remember Peanut used to be calling me because I used to be talking to Delisha. I mean, gosh, just so I don't know why men be doing that. Then you got the girls showing up at your house. Yeah, I'm happy that I didn't remove myself from any conflict. Oh, yeah, man. I try to start every morning in a good mood. Like that's with being a husband and having obviously a house full of kids. I know everything goes to me. If I start the day in a good mood, then my wife was in a good mood. If my wife was in a good mood, then my kids in a good mood. So it ain't always that I want to be that way. Sometimes I want to just be tired, but I just understand that you gotta lead by example. I don't know. I really embrace the role that I put myself in life, and it'd be easy to run from it and make it a million excuses. But I don't know. As a man, if you're gonna get married, don't you feel like your wife deserves to see a six pack abs every day? Like if the same way you want your woman to have a nice body, if she got to be with you for the rest of your life, shouldn't she be able to see something nice? So I'm not asking anything of the world that I'm not willing to give myself. And that comes with the level of peace and understanding and wisdom and conversation and all that. Yeah, man. That's a wild situation. Because I mean, people here don't fight. I can't even think of like right now. Two people got into it. Somebody getting a gun and somebody getting murdered, and it's really ignorant. I was just saying like all in the United States anyway. All fifth grade kids have to do DARE, the drug awareness program, and I think all fifth graders should have conflict resolution classes. I think they need to. Why not? Like we need to know how to and like how to de-escalate situations. Cause I know so many men who have been murdered over like petty stuff. My homeboy Mark, he was going to Domino's to pick up a pizza. He had a call-in order. Some reason he got into it with the guy that was working at Domino's, and Mark had a gun, and I guess flashed his gun, and the Domino's worker killed Mark. And Mark was murdered at Domino's Pizza, picking up a order. He got two daughters. And then like I know truly this is why I say the narratives of the world are fake. I know more dead dads than I do deadbeat dads. Like most of my peers in my generation, if they have children, they take care of their children. But I know a lot of men that have been murdered that are their fathers. All of the popular girls that I graduated with in high school, all of their children's fathers have been murdered. Like Duran was murdered. Phil was murdered. Who else? Um, Kevion just got murdered a few weeks ago. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I can't. Gary got murdered. Antonio got murdered. Jeff got murdered. Kadeem got murdered. Like truly, when I think about, and all of these men have children, and all of these kids are growing up in a world that's telling them that it's the white man that's holding them back, but it was a black man who took their father's life. It's just some crazy reality. Hey, my dude, enjoy your sleep. I know you are high, so you about to get some high quality sleep. Holla at you on the next one, family. Matt, my guy, hey, Matt is one of the smartest individuals in the world, dog. I promise. There's not many things that you could speak about that Matt can give you some fire information. And he's another fellow Neville Goddard, Dr. Joseph Murphy, Maxwell Maltz reader, man. So shout out to all the intellectuals in the world. And I want to say he's the first Jewish person I've ever met in my life. So I can say I have a Jewish friend now. But I think Matt should make his own channel, man. His content would be lit. Geography, ain't that right, Matt? My dog. That's why I say everything in life is beautiful. Cause Matt was my coworker in my last job, and I had no idea like I was gonna meet him in life. And when I say he's a really cool person, uh, man, it's dope. I travel to DC on the 15th for training, so I'll be out there for about a week. So yeah, man, we moving on up. So I got to go out of town. I travel a lot more now. Um, but you know, the best part of like I was traveling 4 years ago before I got canceled, and it's cool to take my kids and they get to go to all these different hotels and order all this different food and stuff. So if you didn't come from a strong family, make sure a strong family comes from you. Like my father didn't have a car, and my kids travel around with me to go watch me speak. So whatever you went through, you can let it go and then give your kids something 100 times better. Matt, another guy too, to know about that. We be talking about that semen retention, man. I think it's really valuable for young men to learn to value their life force. Because I didn't know anything about that. If they was throwing, I was catching when I was young, and I wasted so much of my creativity that now I've learned to put into something meaningful. And that's probably one of the craziest songs ever. That Who I Smoke, y'all heard that? By Young and Ace now. Man. And the wildest part too is how these young kids can make murder and violence and death and destruction sound so good. Because I promise, if they like study Malcolm X, Booker T. Washington, any of those, they could put out the same high quality rap over the same beats, and it would sound just as good. But you would be giving the mass information. You would give the mass of people information they need to hear. Even Megan Thee Stallion can make a whole album talk about Ida B. Wells, Madam C. J. Walker, all of that. Um, like Offset and Cardi B got how many kids together? They could make the greatest nursery rhymes album in the world, dude. Jay Z and Beyonce got kids together. They can make a. That's why I say what they put out, and it ain't even saying what they want to put out. They putting out what they got to. When you go to your job, you got to do your certain tax to get your check at the end of 2 weeks. And Hollywood entertainers are no different. Just because they on a big stage and they repeating the propaganda, they paid to say that. That's why the entire BET Awards was a Democrat national convention. Yeah, that's something when I go to the schools around here, I talk to the kids about um, just not being so emotional, not being so hot headed. I tell my sons, you got to be able to be said anything on the basketball court. You suck, you trash, you terrible. No matter what, your mama a hoe. You got to hear anything and not let it get out of your game, because that's if you want to get to these young boys, just say something mean to them. Tell them he ain't got the freshest Jordans on or something. They become so soft nowadays, but it's unconsciously. And even when I read "Man's Search for Meaning" by Viktor Frankl, that's when I really learned to like control my mind. And all the other books help, But when Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What are you consuming? Because what comes in has to come out somehow, some way. And if you restrict it from coming out from this side, it's going to come out from that side. So just be careful on what's in there. Like, did y'all see that video of Lil Durk's 10-year-old son shooting his stepdaddy in the stomach? It's crazy that people still have domestic violence like that in 2024. My mom and my daddy used to fight. My auntie and my uncle used to fight. My grandma and grandpa, well, Elord, I wasn't around then. Wasn't born yet, but no. And as a kid, it affects the way you view the world, for sure. 7:30. That's a song by Have y'all heard that 7:30 by Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan? That was one of the greatest tag teams ever, by the way. Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan. It will be Mexico. Nah, man, it's so full of Hispanics that that's all it's gonna be. And hipsters, but I don't really know where the black people. So black people are on the other side of Prospect, so Prospect, Kensington, all of that. They still over there. But anything like West Prospect, Olive Park, Wayne, Flora, Truce, Charlotte, Harrison, all of that is Hispanic now, and they rebuilding all those houses. So I think the entire inner city will be Hispanic. But their perception of life is different. Like they hella hyped to be in America and had the opportunity to build and have their own garden. So I think it's gonna be a lot nicer than what it is now. It won't be as much murder. It won't be as many abandoned houses. It won't be as many drug addicts and junkies all around. Mm. But I mean, Kansas City has been run by Democrats since what 1991, I believe. So and Sandy is doing the same thing over and over and over, looking for a different result. And now that the, the private schools have been infected around here um, with the liberal propaganda as well, I'm not sure where the inner city gonna be. One thing I don't see changing is the murder rate, though. Unfortunately, I don't see a way to put that cat back in the bag. It's been too glorified and too normalized. Unfortunately. And then if the Chiefs really leave Kansas City, and if the Royals also leave, you can really see Kansas City going down, really, really, really bad. Because that area where the stadiums are at now, all of the businesses are pretty much closed. The 40 Highway look bad now, where used to be that movie theater and Gorman's and all that. Um, so really, only thing that's left over there is the stadiums. Coco Keys looks terrible. That Denny's just caught on fire and burned down. So yeah, if you close them stadiums down, it's a wrap. That's really gonna be a. It's gonna be like how like Independence Avenue is. That's what's gonna happen on that whole side of town if they take them sports teams out. But I think all inner cities will look like that. I don't think Kansas City is going to be, different than St. Louis or Chicago or Baltimore or Florida. They all slowly going down. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go wherever wherever God take me. Nah, wherever the next level of life wants me to go, that's where I'm down to be. I'm good in every hood. I can see myself not living in America at all. Like I just look forward to experiencing life in different culture, in different parts of the world. So wherever the call and say we got a spot for you, I think that's where I'm gonna be. And I wouldn't mind living somewhere where it don't snow. I'd be cool with it being warm all year round. Just because I like cold exposure so much, you can always find somewhere cold to go sit inside of. But all this ice we be getting in the winters and the negative tens, I don't like all that. Oh, something else that I want to share with y'all that's really dope. So my youngest daughter, she's autistic, she's nonverbal. But the other day she said "hi, daddy" for the first time, and it was one of the coolest things ever. She said it like 3 times since then. I can't really control when she says. She just randomly "hi, daddy, hi, daddy." But that's something that really, really touches my heart that I want to share with the world. Have to see if I can get her on video soon. I want to record a video with her, but she'd be all over the place. She wouldn't just sit here. She'd be knocking this over and get up and walk away, and she may come back. But I'm gonna see if I can introduce her to the world. She's a cool baby girl. She's sleeping right now. I put her to sleep before I came down here. Yeah, she's a cool kid. I've learned so much raising her and keeping her safe and all of that, and making sure every door is locked and every window is closed and all the baby gates is locked. And man, and because she can't really, communicate when something's going on, and she just screams and cries. She's really helped me be empathetic. But I'm her person. Whenever she see me, she walks to me with her arms up, ready to be picked up, no matter what time of the day it is. That's the coolest part. Like we can't really talk with each other, but man, we have a super, super, super close relationship. YouTube is wild though. Cause my analytics is crazy. Like I said, I don't make money off this channel, but it says my channel got 800,000 views in the last 28 days. That's crazy. That 800,000 people have clicked on this little channel from my basement in Kansas City, Missouri. That's why I encourage other people to create art because you really never know what's gonna come from it. The fact that I could almost get 1 million people to listen to me in 1 month, that could be you. And you have survived 100% of your bad days. You know what's important to you. You know what you love to do. Everyone is a media company, and that's why it's such a panic to like restrict and shadow ban because these companies they don't know what you know. They don't know how smart you are. They don't know what you study. They don't know what you research. And if I got a dollar, you got a dollar. That's it. But if you got an idea, I got an idea. Holy moly! We didn't open up a whole can of worms. We can come up with 250 different things, and that's the biggest threat. Is evolution. So you have to keep humans boxed in off low vibrational things that really don't matter. But once you rise your thinking and your mental faculties, you can see straight through the propaganda. Yeah, it been humbling too, cause like I went from 200 subscribers to 15,000 subscribers in like 2 months. So I was like, oh, I'm about to hit 1 million in a year. Like I just knew it was gonna be lit. And then I want to say I went from 15 to 20. It just sat. It sat there for like maybe like 6 months. And now it's slowly tracking, which it has to. And so much content put out. Um, nature abhors a vacuum. You know, there's so many videos that people got to touch them. So you can only turn the faucet off for so long, but if the water gonna spat out the back end. Uh, and I think that's all people want. Like the news wants you to quit, but the Great Depression didn't last forever. World War One didn't last forever. The Civil War didn't last forever. So if you can understand that there's something on the other side of this negativity, then you're not as broken by it. Because then you start paying attention. You got to right now be prepared for when times are good. Because if all you do is complain, 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 you snap your fingers when times are good. Well, you ain't did anything. And if you've read the book The Miseducation of the Negro, it says it doesn't matter who's in power. If you haven't learned to have any skills on your own, you will always be controlled by those who are in power. But I think it's George Washington Carver. He said, if you become talented, people will come get you in the middle of the woods for your skills. So wherever you want to go, you hop in the car and get there. But it's not gonna happen by accident. But the best part is like even if nothing happens individually for me, if my channel inspires a kid to make the NBA, that's dope. If my channel inspires a kid to become a chef or to become an actor or a doctor or a politician or somebody to realize they've been lied to, the whole part is to just inspire people. If someone realizes they want to call their mom and say, Mom, I'm sorry for judging you. I love you. You did the best you could. That's a win for me. If someone makes up with their baby mom or their baby daddy, they say we need to work together to raise our kids. Like that's a win for me. Because as Tupac said, that you spark the brain and spark the brain, and that's all you can do is help humans become better humans. And the money and all those things, they'll come around. Like everything flows the way it's supposed to. Money is energy. I mean, what you get out, you have to get back. But the man who does more than he's paid will eventually be paid more than he does. So you got to be willing to plant, just keep planting the seeds. That's all you got to do. Wake up, plant a seed, and go on about your day. Yeah, I'm done with the snowing. I like it. Like me and Mike, every year we go outside in the snow. We take our shirts off when we play football. But I think it'd be cool to all year round have like nice 70 degree weather. Get up and go for a jog whenever you want to. My children love the snow. Snow angels, snowballs. They make perfect snowball makers now, so you can just launch them things. We do plan to go snowboarding and skiing. That's something that we gonna do as a family. Also, something that's interesting to me, and anybody can let me know if y'all think this way. But social media is crazy because anybody can have a page, and most people just talk negative. Like it's weird to hear how many women talk about men talk about women, and we really could be sharing just like a masses of information. Like the way I read all these books and just be sharing stuff. If we had 200 people just sharing meaningful information, our world is totally different. But we've been tricked to think we have to be on a negative frequency because it's algorithm. So if you put something out negative, it rises to the top. You get more attention. If a girl starts a channel, she's showing more cleavage, she's gonna get more attention. So if we can stop falling for the quick dollar, we'll have a different outcome. But when you can watch a young boy make a song about murdering somebody and then get a $250,000 check from YouTube that next month, it's enticing for you to do the same thing. Do your thing. Enjoy your night. Holla at you when I holla at you. Yeah, no, it was super unexpected. You never know when she gonna get her little rambling going. So no, I was laying down and she came up to me, got in my face. Hi, daddy. Hi, daddy. And then she just got up and walked off. And normally she just screaming or yelling, but she said it really clear. Hi, daddy. 3 daughters, 5 sons. This time be going by fast when we be doing these things. I gotta see where Miss Lisa at. We said we was gonna do this every Sunday. But I know YouTube don't be giving everybody notifications and all that. I mean, we real close to 50,000 too. We like under 2,000 away from 50,000. I'm really excited about that. It's been a long time coming. 100 million on the way though. We gonna do big numbers, real big. A Texas man was charged with bigamy when his third wife discovered he was getting remarried. So bro was on his way to have a fourth wife. God damn, tripping. How often do y'all meditate? Or does anybody on the stream meditate at all? Oh yeah, it's coming soon. Coming extremely like something that I know. Like now, my biggest my biggest regret for real is starting this YouTube channel, showing my face. I should have kept it a faceless channel. And two, I know that I could have came out and just played the ignorant ghetto character role, and they would have gave me 100 million subs fast. I came out, I showed my cards. I really been played my hand smart. But my grandma said you was a walking resume, so I didn't want to come out as some ignorant little boy. Like, let me just get this picture real quick. So this is me graduating from high school. Gold teeth in my mouth. I should have came on YouTube, gold teeth in my mouth, cussing, had a bottle of lean on my desk, had 4 or 5 blunts next to me. And they just said, "Oh, we got another ignorant one. Put them on there." And they would have just let me go. And then I could have pulled out the reverse Uno card and let them hear the knowledge that I got. But it's all good. That's why I say when Tatum reached out to me, it was a setup. Because I was new in the world, but I wasn't somebody that was pushing that same negative image of black people y'all done, black people y'all stupid. No, I was speaking life into people, and that was the threat. Um, but it's all good. Like I said, everything come full circle. This is my yearbook picture. Let me see. Yes, get that over there. Can y'all see Johnny? There we go, young Johnny. Young Johnny. I never smiled. You can find any picture of me And I never, ever, 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 ever smiled. I was so dark. I had a cast on my hand in that picture from fighting my daddy. I had punched him and broke my hand. Yeah, I listened to a lot of Native American flutes, so I just like listening to just the flute in the background, and it just helped me just drift off. Or I meditate when I'm in the bath. If some days if I can't sleep, I'll get up at like 3:30 and go take a hot bath and just lay in there for about an hour. And you have all kind of thoughts come to your head. Hey, sometimes I be having some fire ideas too. I be having to stop in the middle of the bath to grab my phone and like write my notes down. Like, oh, that's a good idea, or that's a good topic to think about. That's a good conversation. So they say when your mind is like clear, that's when you have a better connection to infinite intelligence. Because we all can reach out and get ideas. They all are just available to us. But if I'm busy or I'm stressed or I'm worrying about how I'm gonna pay my bills or how I'm paying my rent or if I'm arguing with my girl, then I can't get the ideas that's coming from God. So that's why I sit still and let all the things out so I can get good things in. You know, one of my favorite sayings is I release to receive the blessing God has in store for me. Because it's easy to hold on to negativity. If you get into it with somebody during the day, if you had a bad conversation, if your boss say something to you at work, just we don't hold on to our good. We hold on to our bad. That's a flaw that we have as humans. So I've gotten in the habit of holding on to the things that are good for me and letting go of the things that no longer serve me or my higher self. When we get 100 million subs, though, we're gonna have a big party. Real big party. Because when I started my YouTube channel, I remember watching people do like they 40,000 live stream and they would have like 4,000, 5,000 people in a stream. And I was like, oh, damn, that's cool. And here I am with almost 50,000. And I struggle to get 10 people in the stream. So, you know, it's something that go on in the world. But whenever people get to watch my video, they get to walk away with a little spark of joy, of happiness and hope. And you can't kill human spirit, nor can you make it believe that the world is all dark and negative. I do got a couple new videos that's coming. I was doing some more research today, and just some of the things you find from the early 1910s, 20s, and 30s are very interesting compared to the narratives that get pushed out in 2024. And it's unique because humans have been conquered without being conquered. Like you can go in and put a gun in somebody's head and make them do what you say, or you can indoctrinate them to thinking your way of the world is right anyway. And that's what's happening in America right now. Like parents are teaching their kids to hate America. So you're gonna look up and in like 70 years, you're gonna like America was conquered. Like where? How? When? Like, oh y'all handed that whole over. You didn't even have to physically take it. So I just try to teach my children, read for yourself, think for yourself. Because I got caught up in the propaganda. I had a Colin Kaepernick jersey. Not anymore though. What's cool is, but if I didn't have this channel, I would have no idea who Tom McDonald was. I only started this YouTube channel because I couldn't communicate with my sons. My baby mama had blocked me from reaching out to them. So at the end of every video, I would say their names and say, "Daddy," say, "Daddy loves you." And I think I used to react to like Thomas Sowell videos and Academy of Ideas. And then somebody had commented that I should react to that Let's Go Brandon, I think by Loza Alexander. That's the first music reaction video I ever did. And I didn't even know shit about music reaction video. Didn't even know that was a thing on God. And I did the first video, and then someone commented that I should do Tom McDonald's I Hate Hip Hop. That was my first reaction video I did from him. And then it opened the door to me learning about Tom and Dax and Upchurch and Struggle Jennings and Jelly Roll. and Meezus and Burden and Samson. Just a lot of rappers that I would never, ever, ever know existed if I didn't get on the internet. I would still know the same rappers that talk about cars and clothes and hoes and money and drugs and murder and sex and violence, because that is all that you are allowed to know about if you grew up in the inner city. Well, now they doing the country collab, so they bringing the country artists in, but um, really just Morgan Wallen. They ain't bringing nobody else in. But no, this channel has showed me that the world isn't as dark as the media paints it to be. It's not as scary. It's not as threatening. People not as evil or as mean. It ain't no white MAGA boogeyman. Most diehard liberals are just soft ass people who think they're on the side of good. It ain't really nothing to be scared of for real like that. They just people. And most people have anxiety, depression, and they worried about what's going on in their life. They're not worried about you. So once you know that, it's easier to be a friend. If you want a friend, be a friend. So I'm just here to be the homie. I think it's lame to start a channel and then tell you how you should be or what type of Christian you should be or what type of believer you should be. I don't know you. I don't know your life. I don't know what's going on in your situation. So morals are subjective to the situation that you're currently in. And there's time that I've done things that morally I wouldn't say was right now, that in that situation it was 100% the right thing to do. So I'm just a human. But that's what life experience does. Like the more life experience you have, the less you judge people. Because it's always easy to say, well, I would have done this or I would have done that. But yeah, but you ain't been in that situation before. And if there's anything that I've noticed about the internet, it's like the people who are the biggest influencers, they don't really have life experience. They ain't got nothing to talk about. That's why I think it's so crazy how much murder is glorified. Because if you watch somebody get shot and die, it ain't nothing pretty about it. When that man got shot in my front porch and he fell in the room, my little brother had to, apply pressure to his wound. That man wasn't a gangster no more. He was crying, hoping he didn't die. And all of my peers, every funeral that I've been to, the family is crying, the homeboys is crying. Ain't nobody excited about it. Hey, Miss Lisa, I was just speaking of you. Oh, look at that. God works in mysterious ways. I said, I know she's gonna be pulling up. Yeah, no, music is, I'm using music as my airplane to get me all across the world, to spread the message of love, of joy, of peace, of hope. And I seen this quote, and it's so true. Music needs no permission to enter your spirit. You hear a dope beat, you're gonna vibe to it. And Tupac said, pay attention to when the beat becomes more important than the lyrics, because you can be consuming something poisonous and not even know it, aka the Sexy Red music, So what I thought was, well, I'm gonna go into these same environments and I'm gonna let this light, this joy that I got is gonna, drop inside of a bunch of people's spirits and they ain't even gonna know it, and they gonna be just happy and smiling. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, that's that Johnny inside you, gang. And knowing how to touch people without physically touching them really touches them, if that makes sense. And that's just an art that I've developed in my short time in life, is really being able to touch people where it matters. And it lasts with you forever. Like it's a lot of things that I've bought my children that they won't remember, but they remember the way I make them feel. It's a lot of things I bought my wife that she probably can't think of, but she remembers the way I feel. I can't think of how much money my mother and father have spent on me throughout my life, but I remember the way that they made me feel. So I just try to make people feel good, and it lasts forever. Miss Lisa, the homie. No, yeah. So without the subscribers, most of these artists that I react to, I wouldn't know who they was. I wouldn't know their music, but collective consciousness is real, and we all are uplifting each other. I got to check some more Dan stuff out. Pretty soon, these artists, they're gonna be having me on stage with them at their concert. This one is really gonna get lit. Yeah, and it's easy because you born into a world where everything that's shown to you is a lie. So it's real twisted. And I say this, man, the masses of black people are extremely insecure. So they already walking out judgmental or defensive of hostile. And fight or flight is real. When I'm uncomfortable myself, I'm really uncomfortable in the world naturally. But if you prepare for something or you research something, then you're more confident. And when I was a diehard liberal social justice warrior, uh, I wasn't really confident in my argument because I was just repeating the things that people were saying around me. So when I was like, the party switched in the 60s, nigga, I never really researched that. I just heard everybody else say that. So then when you look it up yourself and you see black people start voting Democrat in 1932, you're like, oh, and parties didn't switch in the 60s. It just, when you realize Martin Luther King said, I fear I've integrated my people into a burning building. Well, what did he mean? He integrated them into a burning building. So knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. And once you learn to read, you will forever be free. And that was a reason that they didn't want the slaves to read, because once you read, you're going to lead a plantation. And the only reason that the masses of people are still voting Democrat is because they ain't even start reading yet. Yeah, they go to school and they repeating the information that's given to them, but that ain't intelligence. That's just using your memory. You told me something, I remembered it, I repeated it back to you. Boom. And so that's all it is. And I think more people are slowly looking for truth. And with the internet is so widespread, it's so big that it takes, I can only imagine the work they put in behind the scenes to, reduce all the channels just spreading love and light. It's probably because I'm not, Johnny can't be the only one. I know for sure that I'm not the only person who can see through this. I'm just one of the many individuals on this path. So the truth will set you free as always. And the kids are craving for new knowledge, new information, new wisdom. My guy Ryan and that clean Mustang 5.0 drop top. And that is something I can say also with my short time of doing this. Kids are definitely looking for something new, like 100 million%, 100% that the kids are looking for someone new, for new wisdom, because we've always been a part of counterculture. Also, Lisa Cancer Free, gang gang, so happy for you. That is fantastic news. Oh yeah, no, like, so I worked at a private school and I've been around so many kids that if YouTube let me get if they stop hating and let me get big, oh man, we gonna really check, because kids love me, like love me, love me, love me. And so many of these young girls I know are like in college right now. Like I got a few young girls I know that go to Villanova, a few of them in Cali at USC, and they know me as Mr. Johnny. So the narrative of black versus white and left versus all of it, man, it's really easy to crush if you let real people have conversations. And I think celebrities are just out of touch with reality. They don't go to a local gas station and corner store. They ain't have a conversation with crackheads and junkies. My last job, I was door to door with sales, like what my homie Matt was talking about. And I was at this dude house. He's like, man, did I tell you? When I was 9 years old, me and Barack Obama was at summer camp together. And it's like, nigga, crackheads to say anything. Yeah, man, I don't judge people because I don't really know what I would do in certain situations, and I know situations that I've been in. I've made some questionable choices sometimes. Mm. When you mad or you sad, your brain don't work. So stay calm, stay stoic. That's where the cold showers come in. Cold showers really, really, really help me be a lot calmer and not get so flustered. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We all was praying for you. The power of a collective consciousness turns up again. It also makes you think of the concept of churches being shut down. When you hear like the power of prayer, and people joining in, but you can, and then you think about how negative a nightclub is and the energy of the music and all of that. So yeah, no, we are all connected somehow, some way, and that is the biggest threat of the world, is for us to figure out that we can all heal each other, just as we can all hurt each other as well. Yeah, I kept my word, Miss Lisa and Ryan. I'm gonna do this every Sunday, long as I'm in town. If I ain't in town, I'm gonna take my laptop with me, try to do it from the hotel. But every Sunday, we gonna go live until we can get. We gonna have to get see if we can get 60, 70,000 people in on a stream. We gonna keep going until we can blow the roof off this thing. Do them Kevin Samuels numbers. Remember them late night shows Kevin used to do? He used to have 100K people in there sometime. Rest in peace to the homie. Very powerful message. He was extremely needed in this world. Personally, think it's suspicious the way he went out, but I'm just Johnny once again. The best part about trying to be a good example for your kids is you don't know if it's gonna work. Like, yeah, I can read and I can eat healthy and all. My son can still grow up and grab a gun, kill two people, and be a murderer. Like, I'm not one of these people that pretend that they're gonna be just like me. I just know as a father, I have no excuse not to set a good example. Like, there's just no reason not. Like, my brain works. Like, my daddy is kind of not all the way there. I went to go see my daddy yesterday, and he was like, "Give me some money, take me to the liquor store." And it's like, no, no. But I don't judge him, but I just know with my kids, man, I am the ultimate example. And if you don't have a father to be a good example, you're gonna fall into the worldly vices or habits. So, and reading has gave me confidence that I don't think I could have got from anywhere else in this world. Because once you know yourself and you know who you are, no one can take that from you. And the biggest mystery in this world is figuring out who you are. And school doesn't make you feel confident. Your parents don't make you really feel confident. At least mine didn't. Culture doesn't make you feel confident. If anything, it makes you feel like you're not good enough. And the only way you can matter as a man if you go get money and buy material things. But then you get all the material things and you still broken. Like Kanye say, things we buy to cover up what's inside. And I don't need material items to make me feel good. I'll no matter how much money I get, I promise I'll be cool wearing white t-shirts and basketball shorts. Because when your body is nice, you don't need all this exterior things. Like Robert A. Russell said, most people are living on the outside, and you got to live from the center, and you'll be a lot more peaceful that way. Oh yeah, man, I dude. So every morning I wake up, I lift weights. My kids see me dripping in sweat. I just want them to know, man. Everything is hard, and they be like, "Daddy, you always have money, Daddy." And everybody that we know, they always complain that they're broke and think life is hard. And it's like, no, man, you get out of life what you put in it. And yes, you guys always see your daddy have money, but you also see your daddy up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You also see I'm always working and getting better myself or consuming something meaningful. So I'll tell them their biggest mystery in life is gonna be figuring out how is their daddy different from the environment that we're in. And if they can follow my footsteps, then they'll be cool. But if they follow the world, then they're gonna get the results that the world is getting. But I'm really big on speaking life into my children. Really, really, really big on the words that you say. They got power. Cause as much as my mom and dad had domestic violence and we was on Section 8 and the lights was off and the gas was off and the water was off sometimes, they always spoke life into me. I never was cussed at. I never was yelled at. I never got hit. I never heard anything negative from either one of my parents. That's probably like the most twisted side. Like as much as they would fight with each other and hit each other with weapons and all that, I was mama's baby and I'm daddy's baby. I can call my daddy right now and whatever I need, he'll make it happen. So yeah. The On the other side of that, man, sometimes I wish that I didn't crave so much knowledge. Like wish I was still in the matrix and get lost in the sauce and I can go out and party and have fun and club, but I'm just too aware. So everything I do matters. Like I couldn't imagine myself drinking a Captain and Coke ever again. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine myself having a margarita or I don't know. I'm just too enlightened. Uh, I care about my body. I want to be mentally sharp all the time. I couldn't imagine myself in a club with my homeboys and you hear to tear the club up or Lil Jon the Eastside voice shaking like a sock shader. Come on, all the girls start going crazy. Like I couldn't. I can't condone the same behaviors. I don't knock anybody to do. I got a bunch of friends that's DJs and all that. I can't go back into them same environments. I think that's the burden of knowledge, is I know it's destructive. Um, so I wish I could still be just lost in the sauce, turning up to whatever new song is coming out. Right. Yeah, man. So it's made me more comfortable being alone though. That's the other side of it. Is I'm cool with just being by myself, thinking, questioning, researching. It's actually hard to be with other humans now, just because the things that I'm consuming ain't nobody else in the world really interested in around me anyway. So I'm like an alien in my environment for sure. Yeah, and I know through YouTube that's how I'm meeting like-minded people. But yeah, where I come from, uh, yeah, man, ain't nobody trying to. I won't even say ain't trying to hear what I'm trying to say, but most people just don't understand. You don't need an escape from life. You need to create a life that you don't need to escape from. But that comes with facing life. So it's twisted because most people I know they still looking to get away from life, and in order for me to have the life that I have now, I had to face my life, my mistakes, my poor choices, and hold myself accountable. Uh, yeah, yeah. The best thing I think for me is that I stopped consuming the same type of music that I was listening to, because I think different now. I think higher now. I love classical music. I'm a big fan of classical music. But you couldn't get me listening to Beethoven, Mozart. If it wasn't Lil Wayne, I didn't want to hear it. And I didn't know anything about the subconscious and how music affects the way you think, the way you act, the way you treat people, especially the way you treat women. And with this new age music, it's affecting the way women treat men. And I think we got to step back and realize this is art. This isn't real. It isn't real. Now, on the flip side of that, your art will outlive you, and societies are always judged based off of the art that they put out into the world. So you make yourself look like you need to be a slave by conducting yourself so ratchet and demonic and ignorant. Uh, I don't know. The thing is, if you ask like my peers, they won't say I'm smart. They say I'm weird. That nigga Johnny weird. He always talking about something serious. He always trying to be philosopher. You know what I mean? So, um, I say the more I learn, the more I have a lot to learn. But all of this wisdom came real fast, real fast. I used to just mess with a lot of girls. I really never did nothing in life but have a bunch of girlfriends and play basketball. And I learned a lot of my wisdom through women, the way they responded. But I was always an observer. Like if my mama and dad was fighting, I would go downstairs and like you could look at their faces to see if you could speak to them, if you couldn't speak to them. So I don't know. I just always was able to read the room real good. And I don't know. Just I'm really introspective. Like I read a book, and when I read a book, I don't take the book for what it is. I compare it to my personal life and situations that I've been through, and I compare and contrast, analyze. But maybe that's just the nerd in me. When I was in the fifth grade, they had the option to skip me up to the seventh grade because I was doing really good in school. But my mama said no. She didn't want me graduating high school because I graduated high school when I was 17. But if they would have moved me up, I would have graduated high school when I was 15. My mom wasn't down for that. But I always been a little brainiac. You know how Urkel used to change into Stefan? I feel like I'm Stefan. No, I haven't seen that movie. I had to check it out. I'm not good with watching movies, man. I last maybe like 15, 20 minutes and I go straight to sleep. Oh man, you said what wisdom did I learn from women? How much time we got? I learned uh women are gonna do best for them. And in reality, in most situations where a man is thinking he's winning, a woman is really controlling it. Um, Women are different when it comes to being sneaky, when it comes to being manipulative, when it comes like a woman could be crying and be lying to you type stuff. But on the other side of that, I was the side dude where I'm on the phone on three way being on quiet while I'm listening to this dude talk to his girl, so I was 19 dating women that was in their 40s and their 50s, so I learned some wisdom and some maturity that came with all that. But I didn't learn that if you make them mad, that they'll show up at your house, they'll show up at your job, they'll show up at your mama house, they'll key your car, um, they'll call your phone like 700 times in a row. But they'll buy you whatever you want. Like there's no limit on what women will do if they really care about you. But nothing in life is free. Like women will do a lot for you, but it's always a catch to it. When I was 18, a girl bought me a car. I didn't know that she bought me that car so she could like keep track of me type stuff. So mind you, I'm 18, so I'm winning. I got girls buying cars and all that and buying shoes, and it's like no, 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 no. You really want a woman to do as little for you as possible because the more she willing to do for you, that the more control that she wants to have over you. I appreciate y'all for the shout out. I got a little knowledge on me. No, but messing with a lot of girls made me learn, man. That ain't where it's at. Yeah, women don't like other women either. Like men genuinely want to see other men succeed. A woman say, if I'm doing good and I'm happy with my man, you sit over there and you suffer, lady. Versus, I truly want most men kind of live the same lives, and once you realize that you're in control of it, you've already created a life that you're like, well, damn, how do I do this and this at the same time? Versus a woman, they tell a man to do what's right, they tell a woman to do what's right for you. And if they told men to do what was right for them, we have a totally different society. Um, yeah, my dad drank a lot, so that's why I never got into the alcohol. Like I said, my vice was never was drugs, never was liquor, it was women. Uh, but I lacked self control. I lacked sexual discipline, and I lacked the ability to say no. Like I think it's a Drake quote to say, "How you supposed to choose the one when everyone will go with you?" And that was my reality. That I've never not been able to have a girl, so I had to control myself and realize that women are everywhere. But what I want out of life isn't in between a woman's legs. Um, but I couldn't imagine the existence of a lot of men who can't find a girl to date or can't. I don't just there's a part of this world that I don't know. I think women are always looking for a man. I can go to the gas station right now and there's probably some woman that's gonna try to holler at me. I can go to the grocery store and just no matter where I'm at, a woman makes it known that she's available. Um, but I think that also comes with how confident you are in yourself. If you don't like me, I don't care. I like me. So I think when you are really proud of you, women can feel that energy and it draws them to you as well. Ah, behind every great man is a great. Oh, what can we put there? I don't know. A great lesson, a great headache, a great hardship. Yeah, we listen to a lot of. I just try to listen to things that bring you a high vibration. When I wasn't my happiest self, I used to go through things that made me feel good. Like, and that was really sleeping with women or listening to some destructive music. But now, because I feel so good about myself, I don't need to escape from the world or escape from life. I'm happy with life, with myself, with just living. Like, you are inside of your body 24/7. If you're not comfortable within yourself, man, you're not about to find nowhere else to go. Um, and that's why most people want to get drunk. They want to get drunk so they can escape themselves. They want to get high so they can escape themselves. But you always got to come back to you. Most people who take their own life, it ain't really that they don't want to live. They just their consciousness has got them going crazy. And so you got to gain control of yourself before the world destroys you. And that's where I was at with women. It was from one girl to two girls to three girls to 10 girls to this to that. It just you never were satisfied, and the more pleasure you chase, only thing on the other side of that is more pleasure. Uh, and once you learn to discipline yourself with pain, it feels good to overcome a hard challenge, a hard shit. 7 years on the piano, that's crazy. 10,000 hours of practice for show. Wonder if the kids sleep upstairs. Yeah, most people aren't comfortable being themselves. I mean, look at how many copycats we got, especially when it comes to art, like the art that's produced in the world. But that comes with the algorithms, right? Like if the algorithms makes it seem like that a certain type of art is gonna get you famous or viral faster, then it's easy to put that type of art out because you want a quick result. But anything that comes fast won't last. But anything that's slow, you know it's gonna grow for sure. Man, um, Wayne Dyer said, "Ego, ego, edging God out." Because you want to have control. You don't believe that God can handle it. You ain't got faith. And I have more faith now than I've ever had in my life. There's no reason not to walk around in a state of fear. Yeah, I seen something today. It was like, why do you respond when people say negative things to you? Why do you just your ego? Let it go. It don't matter. Yeah, I think my kombucha I have turmeric in it, and I love the sauna. Oh gosh, I love the sauna. I'm not sure if I like the sauna or I enjoy cryotherapy more, but that combination of hot and cold is something lit. My cat over here. Let me see if she's trying to make an appearance. Probably not. She like kitty. But it's 8:13. We almost on 2 hours. Hey, this is the longest I've never done this. I'm gonna try to one day maybe do like a 5, 6 hour stream. Just really mess with the YouTube algorithms. See how many people this notification can get out to and what type of conversations we can have. But to everybody who has joined the stream and watched the stream, I'm extremely grateful for you. As this week comes up, don't fall victim to the propaganda. Focus on Jesus, not the storm, not the negativity. Keep going, and if God is for us, it don't matter who's against us. More positive posts coming, more reaction videos coming. But as I say, the light that you see in me is just a reflection of you. So shine your light, give your art to the world, and watch the many, many ways that God blesses you and your family as well. We outie, baby. Peace.